there we are. Happy Monday, February 22nd. Today I want to talk about thriving or surviving and what part of our brain supports us thriving and what part of our brain keeps us stuck in surviving. Um, I prefer thriving to surviving, but we have to be aware of how our mind works. And I've been having so much fun doing research for these lives and learning a lot of relearning things I've read in the past. Dr. Joe Dispenza, Dr. Bruce Lipton, and one of my other favorite doctors is David Hawkins. And this book, here we go, Power versus Force, is an amazing book where if you're into math and science and you like a little math and science mixed in with your metaphysics, Dr. David Hawkins is your guy. He actually takes every human emotion and gives it a numerical value. So Jesus would be like 1,000, and Hitler's probably like 50. But he goes into much greater detail in the book. And I want to read a quote from his book because to me, the most in my journey in self-help, psychology, therapy, growth, this to me says is the most important thing of all of it. He writes, compassion is one of the highest energy attractor power patterns. Plus, I love that sentence, energy attractor power patterns. Compassion. He writes, our capacity to understand, forgive, and accept is directly linked to our personal health. So no matter what you're doing, no matter what struggles we're dealing with in your personal life, in your relationships, in your career, compassion. Always begin with compassion, and always begin with compassion for yourself. Just saying that feels so good and so right. Know that, I have beat myself up for so long because, like I've talked about before, I wasn't happy. And then I felt bad about not being happy. I had this perfectionist ideal of who I should be, how I should look, how I should feel, how I should act, how much money I should have. And we're not here to be perfect. We're here to evolve and expand and grow. And if you think of your life as like a classroom and this lifetime is your curriculum, there's no right or wrong as long as you're growing. So think of that and have compassion for yourself. The survival brain is like one teacher called it's like Sisyphus. You know the myth of Sisyphus? It's a man pushing this huge boulder up this huge mountain. And the top of the mountain is like our higher brain. When you're sitting on top of the mountain, you're at peace, you're calm. When you're on top of the mountain, you see the entire vista, you see infinite possibilities. You are at peace. You're one with all of life. And when you're on top of the mountain, it's the opposite of being stressed out. When you're in the valley and you're pushing up that boulder, the boulder is stress. And what creates stress is our monkey brain, survival brain. Our survival brains are from way back when in caveman days. Their whole purpose is to keep us safe and comfortable. So they have a very narrow focus on danger. And then they will get specific about the danger, the thoughts about the danger. And the only way to quiet survival brain is to slow it down. Our minds are 95% subconscious and only 5% conscious. And it's the conscious mind that's creative. And that's the part of our mind we want to live from. I mean, the subconscious mind is great for things like breathing. We don't have to think about breathing. We just do. Or walking. We don't have to think about walking. We just know how to walk. So it's great that we have that programming because we have basic life skills. But the negative aspect is we got programmed for negative beliefs. We interpreted trauma or pain as we're not worthy, we're not good enough, money doesn't grow on trees, and on and on and on. So, mindfulness and meditation, they're not luxuries. If we want to evolve and thrive, we need to manage our minds. And in order to manage our minds, we need to do something every day to slow them down and quiet our minds. And when we quiet the monkey brain, the higher mind, not only are we accessing our human higher mind, but we're actually aligning with universal intelligence. So I invite you, even if you don't believe in God, which is there's so much baggage on that word God, to just entertain the possibility that there is a higher intelligence than just our mind. Call it the collective unconscious, the collective conscious, the divine intelligence. And it comes from stillness, and it comes from quiet, and it comes from calm. So the way to live from a more thriving mindset is to calm your mind. And I recommend doing it in the morning before the fear and the negative thinking takes over. Sit with your mind. In this book, Power versus Force, he talks about how as you meditate and you become more conscious, you realize that you are not your mind, you have a mind. And when we become conscious of what our mind is doing, we can navigate and choose. And as I've become more and more aware of what my mind does, I can think, that's what my mind's doing. And things that used to trigger me don't trigger me anymore. If somebody says something that maybe a couple of years ago would have really made me just lose my temper, now I can pause. I have the capacity to pause and think, that has nothing to do with me. And I can even find it funny. That's what meditation has done for me. And that's what meditation can do for every mind. We quiet down our survival brain. We make that ball of stress that Sisyphus is trying to push it, we make that smaller and smaller and smaller. And then that peak state of sitting on top of the mountain, we'll just be there. We can just be there. There's nothing to fix. There's just a presence to allow, a calm presence. Our higher mind is there. We just need to silence the survival freaked out mind, just to quiet it and to soothe it and to love it and to give ourselves compassion. There's so many resources, meditation apps, YouTube videos. Whatever your soul feels interested in or excited about, that's what will help you. So I encourage you to find things that help soothe your survival brain and feed your higher mind. Practice meditation and also practice envisioning what you want and let it feel good. And imagine that you already have it. Those new thoughts every day, day after day, week after week, will become stronger than your old thoughts. Try it for a month. After you meditate, think about what you want. Imagine yourself there. How do you feel? What are you wearing? Who are you with? And really, really feel it. Your imagination is a gift to use to create. And as you feed that vision will keep you on top of the mountain. That vision will become stronger and stronger. And you'll be able to identify monkey brain who says you don't deserve it, who says you're not enough. Not true, not true, not true. Neuroplasticity is our friend. I've talked about it before. Dr. Joe Dispenza writes about it in Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. We can live from our higher mind. We can thrive. It takes mindfulness, it takes awareness, and it takes feeding the higher mind. Sit on top of the mountain today. Sit on top of the mountain in the morning. Lessen the stress and feed the faith and have tons of compassion for yourself. Nothing has gone wrong. You're not doing anything wrong. You're exactly where you're supposed to be in this classroom of your lifetime. This lifetime is your curriculum. Embrace it with love. Feed optimism and know that you are on the right path, and that as you open your mind through the calm practice of meditation, you will connect with the higher intelligence, and solutions will come. Okay, practice that. And we'll be talking more about this because it's infinitely exciting to me, and it's true, backed up with science. But you have to try it, and you have to try to believe. Just open the door just a little bit, that maybe you don't have to be a slave to your monkey brain. Maybe you can rewire your thoughts, because you absolutely can. Okay, take care.